I feel like you could have predicted this was going to happen. Like, I remember whenever I used to work at the IRS, is like whenever we would end work and we would spend 3 hours doing nothing, you knew that we were about to all get let go. Like, it's about to be over. Like, they're going to stop giving us money. Yeah, writings on the wall. Yeah, exactly.
Possible.
Yeah, but I mean, my personal opinion is whether you have the intellectual capability and capacity to perceive what's actually happening, or, you know, it's a shock to you, kind of regardless either way, it's something that, in my opinion, is wrong to do to another human being. I think that one of the responsibilities of a management position is to have to, you know, hire, fire, let your employees know where they stand, you know, where the company is and how things are going, where they're, you know, we're running out of, you know, work for you guys to do, you know. I think that that's the responsibility of the company to do at large. And I think that handling it in this way, whereas, like, you know, like Asmon said, I mean, the writing is on the wall. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's a very chicken shit way to go about things, in my opinion.
Of course. And I think this is just going to be more and more common. And it's like, once it happens to enough people, like, the problem right now is that it's happening slow enough for average people to not care about it. And I also think that there's a lot of average people that are like, oh yeah, you're making pictures on a computer. That's not a real job. Too bad. You know, now it's time to go be a construction worker and be a real man. So, like, you have a lot of, like, what is this? Like, inter-class warfare, I guess you could say, where it's like people are fighting each other and, like, celebrating whenever something bad happens to people that they think that they have bullshit jobs. And so, like, nobody's really thinking about, like, the bigger picture of, like, the guy. It's like, basically, you know, there's 10 pieces, a rich guy takes 9 pieces, he takes the last piece, he cuts it in half, he gives half to a plumber, or half to, you know, a construction worker, half to a graphic designer, and then he says, hey, that construction worker took half your piece. That's basically what happens. It's crazy how easy it is to control people. It's unbelievable.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, Asmon is 100 trillion% correct on this. I mean, the reality is that so many of the people at the top they're feeding off of the weak. Like, and the less fortunate, the less intellectually endowed. It's fucking sad. It's really fucking sad, and it's gonna cause violence. And I guarantee you, this is going to get worse. It's like, if you think that, you know, people, you know, rioted at, you know, Black Lives Matter or January 6th or, you know, what have you, these types of things, if you think that's bad, you have no fucking clue what will happen when that large amount of people are fucked. Because listen to what this guy's fallback is. His fallback is to work in retail. Well, that's going too. So imagine when, you know, you're knocked down a peg, then you're knocked down again, 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 and it's like, now you can't make any money. And then some retard at the top goes, well, just get another guy and fucking do the top stuff. It's like, no, I don't have the money to do that. I can't get to that point. Well, looks like you didn't plan your life right. It's like, no, you dumb bastard. I didn't foresee the future. I didn't have a crystal ball. But it's just like, you're never gonna get these people at the top to give a shit, because they won't. Until it affects them negatively, they will continue to feed upon everyone and everything. There's one thing true universally across all races, genders, sex, creed, places on earth, everywhere, is that humans, when given a disproportionate amount of power, they will abuse that power more often than not. Doesn't mean 100% of the time, but more often than not, when humans have a disproportionate amount of power, they fuck the bottom line. They fuck them over. They turn their pyramids upside down, and the whole thing topples. And they you know, they do so after so many years where they've sucked up so much that, yeah, if the whole company topples, I've got enough put away where I can either retire or move on to another company. It's just, fuck, this is really, really, really bad to see.
Removes the need for us completely, and I think the graphic design industry is where most people cracked jokes about AI taking over. You know, oh, AI generation can't do it, it messes up the hands, or it gets things...
Dude, anybody who was saying that, like, I feel like you could not have above a room temperature IQ and say that. You had to have been dumb. You had to be like, I mean, I'm not talking about like dumb, I'm talking about like dumb.
Wrong, and it clearly looks like a...
Yeah, I mean, you know, Asmon brings up a really good point here. I mean, you have to keep in mind that, I mean, technology isn't going to slow down. It's not going to stop unless there's some weird, unforeseeable thing. It's improving, and it's improving rapidly. I mean, if you look at what AI was just 5 years ago to where it is today, and 5 years is not that much time, okay? It is exceptionally better. I mean, massively better. I mean, before, you know, you couldn't get an AI to follow a script. Point is, artificial intelligence has massively increased. You know, from going from like the little Siri and, you know, bullshit on your phones and stuff to the levels that they're at now. Artificial intelligence is massively, rapidly improving. Massively.
Wrong, and it clearly looks like AI. But those days are past us. Like,
Of course.
AI progresses incredibly fast, and I've
Who
used
didn't
some
think
of it
this was gonna
myself to see if it actually works. And I've asked some people, like, you know, hey, here's this drawing I did as a concept for like a video
And then he's trying to ask them if they could tell if it was AI or not.
character or a weapon or an environment,
Yeah.
and they can't tell that it's AI anymore.
There it is.
It's
I fucking
progressed
knew it.
so-
I fucking knew it. Because it's always these fucking pretend smart people that are like, I could tell this is AI. Yeah, because it says it's AI, idiot. But like, whenever they're actually able to see it, like, this is the best thing. Oh, I hate CGI in movies. And then, like, their favorite movies have CGI. But they don't know that. Because it's good CGI.
Far that I genuinely think within the next 6 to 12 months, many, like thousands, even tens of thousands of graphic designers will lose their jobs. And it's a serious problem because it's the main skill I have. You know, I've been a graphic designer professionally since I was 19.
That's right.
I'm now 27, about to turn 28, so almost 10 years.
And you
of
think
my...
about it, right? Like, because let's step back for a second. Like, obviously, like, it's like we can talk about this, but like I'm like on like a, you know, like a worldwide level, but like on a personal level, bro, this sucks. This really sucks. Like, I feel really bad for this guy. Like, at 27, your career is just like deleted. That's horrible. Yeah, like I can absolutely empathize with the way he feels. That's terrible.
It's not brought up how much AI is going to affect, you know, and I know the, you know, overly optimistic, not really well thought out, small, smooth brain take of, well, you know, it's going to open up job opportunities in other departments. It's like, not at a one-to-one, you know, not anywhere at a one-to-one. Whereas, like, when we stopped, you know, doing whaling, we were using another form of, you know, shit to perform those tasks. Now, you can still, you know, find countries that'll still, you know, do it on the side or on the down low or just blatantly, of course. But, you know, there's more reasons behind that. But yeah, I mean, AI is going to be affecting so much more. I mean, All these people who do Uber driving, that's going to be affected. I could see delivery drivers for pizza joints being affected. I could see fast food being affected. I could see receptionists being affected. I could see teaching jobs, like if you're a substitute teacher, if that's like your, gig you do on the side, or maybe that's your whole gig. I don't know.
Hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem. But don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Remember
the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC?
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So, I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done. Now that you've identified the hypotenuse, can you identify which side is the opposite side to angle alpha?
Okay, well, you told me earlier that this was the adjacent side, and I know that's the hypotenuse, so I'm guessing that this side, BC, is the opposite side.
Great deduction. That's absolutely correct. Now that you've identified all the sides relative to angle alpha, do you remember the formula for finding the sine?
I could see that being taken. If you look at what OpenAI has been working on recently with their Chat GPT 4.0 or 4D, I don't know, 4 something. There's so many of these jobs that are going to be taken. I'm starting to think that we may need to have actually have to have a new form of economic system to basically handle the world of tomorrow. The certain economic system that we currently have today, I don't think is going to be able to support the amount of people that it's going to negatively affect. And I think that within probably I think it's going to be very bad. And I think that 10 to 15 years, you're going to start to see, in my opinion, this could be completely wrong, but I think you're going to see people rising up against this stuff being such an issue and saying like, look, I can't afford to pay for my kids. I don't have a job, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have a lot more negative outcomes, and people are trying to line their pockets, and I don't know if the top knows about this, and maybe they're just trying to line their pockets as much as they possibly can before the shit hits the fan, so to speak, entirely. But things are changing at a rapid pace technologically. The amount of people that are going to be affected is massive. First, that's a big one. Don't forget it. Second, most of the people who are going to be affected are the bottom level jobs. Most of the people who work the bottom level jobs don't know what the fuck to do. That's why they're working bottom level jobs. So trying to expect that person to have an IQ of the guy who runs the shit is literally intellectually inept in and of itself. Okay? It's not okay to do. Plus, a lot of these people, what happens if you can see the writing on the wall, but you don't have enough to save up money? You don't have enough to do anything else, and things and job opportunities are dropping like flies as technology increases. What are you supposed to do? You know, I mean, there's so, and once again, the people who are being asked these like really, really tough questions aren't people who are economically set and secure in their jobs. The people who are asked these questions are people who are working at the gas station. They're people who are working at the drive-thru. They're people who are working at the grocery store. Okay? These are the people who are going to primarily being asked this question. Obviously, graphic designers is going to happen prior to those based upon the need for more robotics, and robotics being so expensive at the time. Yes, it's going to take, you know, a couple more years before we optimize that, you know, entirely. But I mean, if you just look at Atlas, which is Boston Dynamics robot, which they recently retired to bring out their new version. I mean, the size of the back, if you look at its back, it has a giant rectangular battery on the back that has to have like fans all, you know, put around it to try and keep the thing cool so it doesn't overheat and cause problems. Like the new one, much smaller, much more compact. There are people who are bigger than that, you know? So, things are changing, and they're changing fast. But being aware of it or not being aware of it is neither here nor there. And anyone who thinks that it is fucking dumb as shit. Okay? Like, sure, if you know that it's happening and you have saved up money and you can afford to like put a bunch of money aside and you have another skill and you're working on the side this you know, with this other company, and you're getting in with all these other people, like, sure. But most of the people who are going to be affected by this are not those types of people. They're the types of people who, you know, their life fell apart and, you know, they're working, going paycheck to paycheck, eating, you know, instant noodles and, you know, working at McDonald's, okay? Living with 2 other roommates inside of a 1-bedroom apartment. These are the types of people who are being affected. Not Mason, or I'm just a random name I pulled out of my ass, but not Mason, the guy over here who, you know, has 27 grand, you know, in his savings account. He's got six grand in his checking, or vice versa. And he's, you know, got, you know, 30K in stocks across the board, and his, you know, family is well endowed economically, and, you know, can help him, you know, if he slips or falls. Like, most people aren't in that type of a situation, okay, who are going to be affected by this immediately. I think it's incredibly, massively, astronomically disingenuous and dishonest, intellectually dishonest, to be like, oh, well, I mean, you should have seen the writing on the wall, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, holy shit. You understand that there are people who work at these, you know, like, at like a gas station, who are getting drunk and stoned at work every single fucking day, and have their boss come up to them and go, hey, chief, we've gotten another complaint about you. If you don't straighten up, you know, you're gonna lose your job. It's like, you know, and he still fucks up. It's like, there's people like that exist. And guess what? When he loses his job and he no longer has any way to support himself, he is not going to go, you know what? I'm just gonna turn on my intellect now. He's gonna go, well, I don't know what to do. Guess I'm stealing shit. Guess I'm robbing people. Guess I'm assaulting people. And then guess what? Now we have more fucking problems. It's like, oh, okay, well then they'll just get arrested. It's like, now we have more, larger prison population. Like what happened to El Salvador. I mean, not the same thing, but they increased in prison population massively recently. But anyways, the point is that, you know, you're gonna have all these fucking problems, and then what are we gonna do about it? Well, can't do shit. Guess we'll just suck it up and die. Like, it's like, dude, This is going to cause so many problems that so many people just are unwilling to accept. Because either they're not in that position, so fuck you. But it's like, dude, you don't have to be in that position. You can be in a bad position really fast because of these people. First, they don't have a job. Now they feel disadvantaged. Now they go out to cause crime. They start off by stealing. The cameras in the stores with AI and stuff and facial recognition are getting better. It's harder to do that. Now what does he do? Well, he just got out of jail. You know, blah blah blah. He has to fucking make some money. Well, he sees you walking down the street and you look like you might have some money. So then he beats the shit out of you. You try to defend yourself. You potentially lose your life or get beaten within an inch of your life, and the dude takes your shit. All because you're like, yeah, fucking, I don't care. Why didn't you see the ratings on the wall? Like, you stupid fucking bastard. Like, it just, goddamn, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's ignorance or narcissism or all of the above, but things are going to get really, really, really fucking bad if we don't seriously take this serious.